First of all, I just want to thank the Lord for this opportunity. Man, blessed to do what I do and to work with these dudes. And life is never easy, right? It's never like a smooth sailing or always an upward climb. There are ups and downs. And in the summer, I told our staff, let's find guys that we don't mind losing with, right? And our guys have been great over the last few games. And when things didn't go our way, and a lot of what didn't go our way really doesn't fall on their shoulders. It falls on me as a head coach, and not giving them what they needed. And these last couple of days, we did what we need to do. We gave them rest, and shortened our practices. That line in Miracle on Ice. Legs feed the wolves, and that's what we didn't have. Last few games, especially the Oklahoma game. And I thought tonight we had legs because of how we prepared, and actually more of what we didn't do rather than what we did do. Second thing is our crowd was incredible, right? I think y'all know this better than I do, but I think we lost a few Big 12 games in a row or something like that, and maybe sprinkled in with a win here, with the Florida and the TCU game. And, sometimes you have fickle fans and they just show up when you're winning. But, man, our students, I asked them to show up, and they showed up, and I couldn't be more proud of them. And the energy that they gave us today propelled us to the win, right? And because Iowa State did an incredible job. I don't think either one of us made shots tonight, but our defense was there, even when we was missing shots on both sides. And just another huge Big 12 game, and this was a huge win for us as a team.
Did the defensive intensity match what you've sought for the last week or so?
Yeah. I didn't think at Texas Tech we played bad defense, for the most part, but we just turned it over a lot, and so it's hard to get stops when you're out in transition and outnumbered. And so I thought our guys brought energy at Texas Tech. We just didn't have execution. And then at Oklahoma, we just didn't have legs. And so, we told them what we wanted to see it look like today, and we gave them the rest that they needed so that they had legs. And I thought our guys were locked in, and really gave us the chance to have a chance to win the game.
How vital were the stops at the outset of the second half and making shots at the other end?
Yeah, well, when you get stops, you can get out in transition, and and then it gets a little easier. In the first half, when we turned them over, we was able to score. And a lot of times in the first half, we didn't get clean rebounds, so they were able to set their defense. And I think them and Oklahoma State neck and neck with the best defense in the Big 12. So, they do that to everybody. I don't know if y'all watched that Oklahoma State game. It was so impressive to see both teams play so hard on the defensive end when they weren't making shots. And so that's really what I tried to get our guys to understand, that we're not going to make shots. It's going to be hard to make shots against them, and we just have to keep grinding. And so very proud of the guys.
Is there a tougher team against which to make entry passes and just top to wing passes than Iowa State and what you saw today?
Man, I hope not.
I was going to say, you weren't making shots and still you didn't turn the ball over. Is that difficult to do when you're not making shots and still be focused enough to run your offense, I guess?
Yeah, we just that's our Achilles heel. It's the turnovers, and I told the guys, look, if we can 11 or less turnovers a game, it's going to be hard for teams to beat us. And I thought our guys really locked in on that, and they had legs to be able to do what they need to do on the other end.
And also, I think Lipsy had 6 or 7 turnovers. You were able to make it difficult for him too defensively. Anything in particular?
Sometimes dudes just have bad. He had 6 assists and 6 turnovers. Sometimes guys have bad games.
Jerome, it seemed like y'all's back was really against the wall there at halftime. What was the emotions in the locker room, and what did you kind of tell the guys to get a spark in them?
It's just we got to rebound the ball. They had more pain points than we did, like by 10. And then we got to make some shots. Like we can, if we turn them over, we can get out and run, and we'll get some good looks. And we knew it was a 40-minute game. It was not. Nobody in the Big 12 really throws a knockout punch unless you're just not ready to play. And so we knew it was going to be a 40-minute game and a grinder, and our guys showed their maturity and their toughness.
Did you guys need a win today?
Well, I don't know, I don't want to say there was a must win or anything like that, because I know our goal on the outset was to get to the NCAA tournament, right? And I still think we have to win one more game in conference to solidify that. But had we lost this game, it doesn't mean our season was over. So it was about playing at a level that would give us a chance to win. And that's all you can ask for every night. And if they give us a chance to win, then I feel like our staff will put them in position where they can make a play.
What went behind the decision to give Desi his first start today?
Ryan put out a tweet, I think, said we probably need to shake up the lineup. There was a quote of mine that says I wasn't married to a starting lineup, and he said it would be a good time to revisit that, so that really spurred me to do that.
What did you like about the energy that he brought starting?
Well, Desi always brings energy, and it wasn't that I actually checked with the Big 12, because I think Dez is the sixth man of the year in the conference, and I think the kid at Texas is right there with him. And I didn't want to cost Desi that. He had sacrificed for us all year long, and so I didn't want. He probably could have started a while ago, but I didn't want to cost him the opportunity to get that award, right? And so I checked with the Big 12, and they said you can't start more than half of your conference games, and so with 5 to go, it's not more than half. We decided to make the change. That really what it boiled down to.
Marquise hits 4 threes tonight. Do you think it's almost just like he needed something to kind of go right, and he started hitting and his shots falling?
He just need to get some looks. That's all. He just need to get some. Man, it's hard to get. They put 2 people on him every time, right? And they put 2 people on Keontae every time. And what helps is when Ish makes a shot, Cam makes a couple shots. That helps to space the defense out. But yeah, he just needs to get a couple looks.
It was said by the players that Marquise maybe challenged some of the bigs in the locker room. What's it like for you as a coach to see a player kind of show some leadership in the locker room at halftime when, like you said earlier, that was a big moment for you guys?
Yeah, I didn't see it. We were figuring out what we were going to tell them, how we was going to help them, and they were in there, and that's what that's what leaders are supposed to do. And then after the game, he complimented every one of them for doing a great job in the second half. That's what I saw.
And then to also be able to kind of come out in the second half and hold your own, if you're Marquise and score 18 points, what does that kind of say about his ability to contribute while also holding his teammates accountable as well?
I mean, he's a competitor, right? There's never been a question of if he was going to compete or not. Some nights the shots fall, sometimes they don't. That's just part of playing basketball. And but his competitiveness, his toughness, his desire to win is never something that's questioned.
To be able to insert Desi, what did that do for you guys in terms of your spacing and just ability to maybe put the ball in his hands and play Marquise off of it a little bit more to start the game?
I don't know that it did anything because we didn't necessarily start that great. I don't feel like we started great. So I don't think that had anything to do with it. Hopefully it just spurred the guys who were on the bench that were used to starting to give a little bit more when they came in. And I thought, some of them did.
I'm curious, do you drown out the noise from this passionate fan base after 2 losses like you had, or is it something you use as motivation?
No, I just, I know that our greatest strength is also our greatest weakness. So our passionate fans, in wins are going to be passionate in losses, and that just happens, and it goes with the territory. But I'd rather have a full gym of passionate people pissed at me than an empty gym, nobody caring, right? And so I am very, very thankful for our passion and our energy. I really don't listen to none of y'all. And, I listen to my staff. And, those guys, I got the best staff in America.
What are the biggest key for
I mean, we worked really, really hard, in the off season, and all of our goals are still ahead of us. And y'all, our fans, everybody on the outside want us to win every game and then play like great. Like, even when we win, well, so and so didn't play that well today. What do you think that was? Shoot, we just trying to win basketball games, like by one. If we win by one, we're going to be really, really happy. And some nights we're not going to win, and that just is part of being a competitor, right? The key is that you fight every night. And so it wasn't like we were just going to stop playing because things weren't going our way. You don't do that in life. These are life lessons more than basketball lessons that these guys are learning, that you got to stay in it, right? Things aren't going to go your way. And when you're a husband, and you got kids and you got to get up and go to work, if you're sick, you still got to get up and go to work. You don't get to stay at home and sleep and say, I ain't feeling well, and those are the things that I hope that they're taking from this that's going to help them. They're going to get up and go to work, and they're going to come back home. And when things are tough, they're not going to run. They're not going to stop. They're not going to quit. And that to me, that's the bigger lesson that I hope our guys are learning in all of this. And we got a pretty good basketball team, and we're going to win a few more games, and we're going to be ready, when the NCAA tournament rolls around. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I know we're going to compete.
You complimented your scout team a week or so ago, but more specifically, what has Nate Aubrey done for you guys this season? What has Nate done for you guys this season?
Man, well, first of all, Nate is an answer to prayer, and I literally prayed for Nate. I didn't know his name, but I prayed for an older guy who had some accomplishments in basketball, that wanted to be in ministry, and understood the sacrifice that it takes to be a servant leader. And Nate reached out to me via social media, and I did a little research on him, and we talked a few times. And having someone like that in the locker room who speaks truth, right? Well, first of all, he competes every day at practice, and so he earns the guy's respect as a competitor, right? And then he speaks truth in the locker room. And it's sometimes it's hard to tell people the truth of things they don't want to hear and have them still keep the relationship. And Nate has the ability to tell people tough things with a smile on his face, and that's a talent, right? And so the relationship stays. They receive it from him. They respect him as a man. They respect him as a player, and he just has helped our locker room so much, helped our staff so much. He's just a blessing. I can't quantify it.
Was Tomlin kind of quietly pivotal in the rush to get the game back even at the very first of the second half?
Yeah, I thought we caught him off guard with our 5-1 ball screen, and it's not something that people are used to guarding, and it was able to get Marquise an open shot and then able to get somebody else an open shot. When Naquan gets in foul trouble, where it hurts us. And but I was very pleased that we were able to, he didn't pick up the third one in the first half, so we was able to sit him and still be in striking distance so that he could be more aggressive in the second half.
Anything else for Coach? Oh, Cody.
First question is, are you a little tired of talking about turnovers? And then my second question is just how much energy does that bring to the defense when you're kind of winning that turnover battle and getting points off those?
I know I'm never tired of talking about turnovers because it's such a, for this team in particular, it is so vital to winning, right? On both sides of the ball. And it's just for any defense, any coach will tell you, it's just, there's no defense for live ball turnovers. So if we can cause them, it helps us. And if we can make sure we don't have them, it helps us.
You showed some great speed going from the handshake line to the student section. And obviously you got all the way to the top of the stairs today. How much fun is that for you? Do you need to do the extra workouts to make sure you're prepared?
Well, I'm going to be transparent and tell you, I hadn't been working out much at all. I haven't figured out a routine yet. This is like I got to get in a routine. So, yeah, I was huffing and puffing at the top of it. I purposely made sure I slowed down through the handshake line enough, because if I catch too much of the Wabash, I get tired, like the core like starts to. So I try to make sure I hit it just right so it's enough, and then get to the da-da-da-da. That's the good part. That's the breather right there. And but I'm just telling you, I saw students lined up. It was cold, and they were lined up early this morning. And the response to the video I put out, and how they said, they would be there, and the fact that they showed up all the way to the corner, the top up there, and I was just so moved by their willingness to support the team and be there for us. And I mean, I'm just very, very thankful for them.